And so that's why I was calling it my back garden earlier. But I've been watching, the birds and the squirrels and the rabbits and all kinds of activity going on, and pairs and interactions that are going on with the different species and so on. It's beautiful to think about how inspiring nature can be. And I'm seeing how in what you're offering here, breathing with the trees, can really help us take the time to make that connection and to take advantage of what's surrounding us, even though we continue to build things up. Let's relax, as you're saying, and breathe with the trees a little bit, and we're going to wake up to a new dawn. Now I'm using all of the titles of some of your tracks. Well, no, but it's relevant to what we're talking about here. So important.
Yeah, yeah. And, um, there's another song on here that I just want to bring light to. There's a song called Angels Speak as I Transcribe. And that is something like, when you just sit down and you just do channel writing, when you start getting these messages. And I think that's very therapeutic. And I think, and again, for people today, like any day, it's like, hey, what do you really want to do? What do you really want to do with the rest of your life? Where are you at right now? And how are you feeling right now? And just start to write and channel those thoughts, and just, you'll get messages that you never even thought you were going to get, because a lot of people ask, well, how do I meditate, or how do I get messages, or how do you receive these messages? It's like, well, you have to put yourself in that position, meaning you have to turn off the phone and the TV and the computer for a minute, and you have to just sit for a minute and have that piece of paper that's blank and a pen, and just take some deep breaths and just allow things to start coming to you. And a lot of times you'll think that those messages are just yourself talking to you, but it could be your higher self talking to you. Just start writing, and it'll sound like a dictation, and just start writing things out. And you'll be amazed sometimes when you read it and you go, who wrote that? Where did that come from? So that's another song that I really like. It reminds me of Jim Morrison's album, American Prayer. That's what it was inspired by. I was a big fan of the Doors. In 7th and 8th grade, I went out and bought every single record they ever had. Well, when Jim Morrison died, they found a bunch of recordings of his poetry they have found. So the remaining members took his poetry that he had recorded and put music to it. And so that's what I tried to do with this particular song. It's like, has a chorus, but yet there's speaking throughout it. But the speaking is like messages that can resonate with somebody.
And you're talking my language now. I mean, as far as that's concerned, it's almost like every talk I give, every class I teach, everything I do practically with the way that I live my life, and I happen to do is that just allowing life to move through me, spirit to move through me, let whatever that is for each individual to tap into that and to be able to let that come through. So I interesting question, because you're one who's creating, producing this music, this for others. When you're experiencing your own music, let's call it an after the fact. I mean, so there's this process of being inspired, and it moves through you, and you kind of bring it together and you refine it, and it becomes the product of Awake, as we're seeing these 22 tracks. Now you're listening to it later, and you're not just for production reasons or for sales reasons, but as part of what your own experience is. How does your music affect you? I've always kind of wanted to know a little bit about how that works. It'd be like, like you said, Jim Morrison. I wonder how he felt when maybe he never did put a pair of earbuds in, and well, not earbuds then, but I mean, and listen to his own song, and on a personal level for his own personal life. How does your music affect you?
For me, sometimes it could be a little intense because I'm overanalyzing things, but that's more on the production side. But I believe that a lot of times those messages are for me, and I'm just sharing those messages. And I'll give you a great example. There's a song I wrote called Best Case Scenario. And Because we always have a knee-jerk reaction of thinking of the worst case scenario. It's like, oh my God, I can't be late. I'm going to be late for work. If I'm late for work, that's going to be the third time that my boss is going to get mad. Next thing you know it, he might fire me. If I get fired, I won't have money, and now I'm homeless. So you keep going down this rabbit hole of like, dude, you were late, and now you're homeless. Like, how'd you end up homeless? And I go, well, what's the best case scenario? It's like, okay, I'm going to get in the car, and yes, there's traffic, but I'm going to get through it, and the boss won't be there, and the clock is broken, or whatever. I'm going to get there on time, and start thinking of the best case scenario. So that's what the song was written about. And many a times I've had friends or bandmates say to me, like, if we're on our way to a gig or something's going wrong, they'll go, hey man, it's time to listen to that song. So it's that little hint of that song you wrote, best case scenario, start acting on that. You're like, okay, thank you, I needed that. So it just puts you back in check, back to, oh yeah, that's the message, best case scenario. Okay, so it's all going to work out. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, and I also take that premise of the teacher only teaches what they need to learn, or that kind of thing. So there's always those messages in what we create, no matter who we are or what we're creating, that can reflect back to us. I mean, obviously, our creating as individuals is what brings meaning to us and into our lives and to others. And it moves through us like the songs did for you, and becomes a part of who you are as you're creating it, producing it, and then putting it out there for everybody else.
Right, right.
Well, it's a great time to be able to access this kind of music. I understand you have the opportunity, if people were to go to your website, to maybe have a special gift.
Yes.
You have in mind.
Yeah. So if you go to my website, which is sainttone.com, and it's all spelled out, SAINTTONE.com. If you sign up for the email list, you're going to receive 5 free songs, and those 5 free songs are songs to help you relax, de-stress, feel self-empowered. I put these 5 together from various records. 2 of them are on this current record, but I just felt like right now is a good time to just have people just sort of relax, especially, right now with the election coming up, and just there's the coronavirus is still out there. There's just so much tension that I put together these 5 songs just to help you chill out. So if you go to the website, you can do that. And if you want to pick up the record, you can hear the record on the on the website. There's a SoundCloud there. But also if you go to Bandcamp, which there's a link, you can buy the record for any price that you name. So it's name your own price. So if you want to pay $1 for it, if you want to pay $10 for it, my thought with this album is just to get it out there. So I want people to hear it and feel it and be inspired by it.
Well, and you are saying all these things about who you are and what you do, and you're putting your music where your mouth is. You're putting it out there. And wow, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody saying, hey, look, well, I take that back. I mean, I for many, 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 many years, we have another thing in common. Every time that I work with somebody, I am associated with a church. How much does it cost to have this or that with you? And I've always said, whatever feels right or good to you. So we have some other similar things in common. So that's great. So check out sainttone.com. There's some music there that can help you with the way we've been talking about it. It's moved through Tony. It's shown up as tracks on a CD. Now it's available. We've got online to work with, so go online, get connected to it, let it bring its inspiration and encouragement and support into your life, and then share it with others. I mean, that's what we're all doing, is trying to make things a little better. That's what Just Jim's all about. That's why Tony and I are talking today. So what a great way to be able to come to the place where we're ending the show and offer a gift to people. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a pastor of Sarasota Center of Light, and we are constantly putting on online classes and things that are going on too. So don't hesitate to go to the website and check out the calendar and what's going on, services on Wednesday and Sunday, all that kind of stuff. We're a center that embraces your truth rather than tells you what it is. So know that we're here with you, for you, care about you, supporting you in every way we possibly can. So don't hesitate to contact me if you'd like. REVJIMTOOLE@gmail.com. You can get my contact info on our Facebook page, our website, etc. Don't hesitate to let us know how we can support you. And don't hesitate to let Tony know how he can support you in this process together. We're all in it. We are the world. Let's be it for the best for everybody. Whether it's music or inspiration or classes or whatever it might be, let's share who we are like Tony is doing in the world, making it a better place for each and all of us. Thank you, Tony, so much for being here today and sharing who you are and all that you have with us. It truly makes a difference.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, everybody out there, be well, be safe, be conscious in your decisions, your actions, and your interactions. Blessings to each and all of you.